All right, everybody, we're back with the Powerful Nerdcast. We promised we would do another episode with higher quality audio and video, and guess what? We followed through with it. Christian, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, but you have a way better background than me, so, you know, I'm a little jealous.
There's no doubt. You guys probably haven't seen, we've been making some updates to the office, and
we've been making some changes.
That's right, for all two of you who get that reference, but we have a lot of cool stuff behind me. We're going to try and change the backdrops a little bit, because, Christian, you're right. We need something behind you aside from just some soundboards.
It's cool. I got a lamp here that's blown out. We got some sound things behind me. You know, got my coffee cup somewhere. Yeah,
got
there.
Your smoothie as well.
Smoothie.
Drinking delicious smoothies this morning.
You know, we're drinking smoothies because we think about our health.
Yeah.
You know, we're all about our health.
But that being said, we have a pretty exciting podcast today. We're going to be talking about the latest chapter of One Piece, which we just got done reading, which is really exciting.
Yes.
We also want to touch upon all of the crazy shit that's been going on in Dragon Ball Super because it's pretty damned exciting. Mm-hmm. And we also want to talk a little bit about all of the suggestions that you guys actually gave us on the last podcast because, of course, we were talking a little bit about the YouTube channel, which is getting a lot of momentum. We are really getting ready to make some big changes. I don't want to say the name of the new channel yet. But
you don't want to?
No, not yet.
I'll say it. I'll say it right now. I'll say it right now.
Don't fucking say it. This is gonna be like a big reveal. Like everything's gonna come out on that day. I'm planning on doing kind of like an introductory video to the brand new channel, the name, the style of everything that we're going to be doing. But
we're not saying it.
But something that is really cool, I do want to update you guys on, is that I've always been wanting to do like a really cool logo.
Yep.
And we went out and we talked to like 10 different people of trying to get commission for some brand new artwork and a logo for the channel. And a guy that we got working for us, I think is going to deliver some really amazing stuff.
Yeah, you know, being part of the film community in Atlanta, we're lucky enough to know a bunch of artists that are very good at producing art, essentially. And we were lucky enough to show a few ideas. We put out a call on our Facebook page and our personal Facebook pages, and we just got a ton of submissions, and like 2 or 3 of them were really good.
Yeah,
we were like stuck like trying to figure out who's going to make our new logo. And I want to tell you guys a lot about the process, but Corey seems to want to keep it under wraps.
I do want to keep it under, but it is happening. It's going to be happening pretty soon.
We've decided on the name. We've decided on the artwork style. We're relaunching the channel. It's going to be great.
Yeah, and like we said, we got a lot of great suggestions from you guys, and I just want to address some of those right now. First, one that I thought was really funny, not so much some stuff for the channel, but Magnum Magnus, I love that he said, good to see that Corey doesn't have Christian's body in his basement like I've been theorizing. I just thought that was really funny. Yeah, Christian is here. He's alive and well.
I'm way stronger than Corey. There's no way he could kill me and put me in his basement.
Let's not get into that debate.
Who could win in a fight?
I would bury that bitch.
I would bury him.
All right, that's exactly what's going to happen. But
now we can't monetize this, Corey. You fucking swore.
I don't give a shit. I'm going to monetize the hell out of this. And I'm not going to worry. I'm going to say fucking shit all day long. But a lot of the suggestions we got from you guys were actually all pretty similar things. Basically getting away from the whole weekly anime review thing and doing more like comprehensive series reviews, topics, and essay videos.
Yes.
Which is definitely something that I want to do. I want higher quality content. Basically, not quantity over quality, quality over quantity.
Yeah, we were going I call it the content arms race, where it's like, put out more, go, put out more. And then we realized a lot of our content was repetitive every week. It was a lot of volume, but very repetitive in the sense that it was the same series, weekly reviews, episode reviews. And we're like, we should just cast a broader net and do more quality stuff that speaks to people that may be searching for things outside of our immediate audience. And I mean, you guys that watch every week, we love you to death. We're just really trying to like maybe do something on Game of Thrones, something on some of the big series out there, do some Avengers content.
Yeah, people want some Marvel DC content. Because we feel like that's just going to bring in new people. So we're kind of excited about trying some of that. And the good news, of course, is we did get our tickets for Endgame.
Dude, we were like, we waited. We're like, they're not on sale yet. And then like after the second trailer came out, and I was like, Corey, look, it says tickets available now at the end of that trailer, and everyone's watching this. We should really get our tickets. And then we got tickets for like Sunday morning, the weekend of the launch at 10 a.m.
It's a 3-hour movie though.
Yeah, that's kind of good.
Past lunchtime when
we're gonna be able to actually enjoy the rest of our day and not like watch at 8 o'clock and get out at midnight. You know, so I'm excited about it. Actually, I am extremely excited about Endgame.
Yeah, I cannot wait for Endgame. And we're going to be planning on doing kind of like a video, either podcast or full-on review. I'd like both of us to be in it just to give our input on this movie.
Sounds good.
Because it's going to be really exciting stuff.
Yeah, I just, I don't want to like here's the thing. I'm watching that movie as a fan, and then later I'll gather my thoughts, as we sit down and do the review. I'm not going to be sitting there with a fucking notepad like I got to write a book report. I want to just enjoy it as a fan, and then we'll come in here and we'll do our thing like we do.
Yeah,
but that's what we do.
So that content is definitely coming. Like I said, the biggest things I'm going to be working on is going to be a lot of essay and topic style videos. I've already created like a huge list of like 100 different topic ideas, some of which I'm already currently working on. And again, my plan is to make them high quality, well scripted, thought-provoking, and good imagery. Monetization be damned, I'm going to start including actual footage from anime. And
look, everyone else does, man. As long as you're talking over it, I don't think it matters.
It just enhances the video. I mean, don't get me wrong. You guys want to see this every week, but we need to see like the actual content that I'm talking about. I'm still going to use still images, but I am going to try to start using some actual footage from these shows. I just think that it's actually going to enhance the content quite a bit. And like I said, this is going to be topics ranging everywhere from essays, topics, top 10s, theorizing videos, comparison videos, everything. All that stuff. Yeah. The only difference is, of course, because I'm going to start eventually ditching weekly reviews, this is going to be like maybe 1 to 2 videos a week. But that's because I really want to be able to work on these and make them as high quality as possible.
I think you're still probably going to do some weekly reviews. You're not going to...
Some. There are going to be cornerstones for the channel. Like, Boruto is staying, but that's only because the Naruto franchise is what built this channel.
Yeah. It's what built this city.
People came to see initially when we started doing this YouTube channel. I
completely agree.
And I still love that franchise, and I really want to do it. And, there might come a point where maybe I'll do, like, I was thinking, this is something I wanted to talk to you about, Christian.
Okay.
Instead of doing, like, weekly reviews, maybe if I do, like, one big video a week, which is, like, all the anime I watched this week.
Yeah, like a video recap. It might work. I mean, strategically for views, and I'm not saying it's all about the views, that might not work because people wouldn't know to look for that.
Exactly.
Except our core audience.
Yeah. There was one guy who was saying there was like a comment we got that was kind of similar to what I was talking about. There was like a monthly show or a weekly show where they just like they talk about all the manga that was released.
I feel like honestly that should almost be like you just riffing in front of the camera for like 10 or 20 minutes, like your own anime recap podcast, if you will, you know, and you can call everything a podcast now. Yeah, but I see what you're saying. That's not a bad idea. One Piece is a cornerstone of this channel. You know, we have Naruto, which is a cornerstone of this channel. And then maybe your favorite show of the season, you might do a few reviews of, you know, I don't know if weekly or episodically.
And it's also easy to do, you know, like Dragon Ball Super is something I really want to get back on. I'm not the biggest fan of the manga, and we are going to talk about that today, by the way. But that's like a monthly thing. So it's not really too big of a deal to do like a single video on that a month. But that being said, I also have some topic and essay videos about Dragon Ball that I am currently working on. I'm very excited about. But yeah, like I said, all of your suggestions were really good. We took them all to heart, and we are actually going to be implementing a lot of those changes going forward. So thank you all for your suggestions. Now that you know kind of the content that we're going to start releasing, essays, topics, and everything, what do you guys want to see? What type of styles do you want to see? What you know, do you want us to talk about, basically? Just sound off in the comments.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us more things. Give us more suggestions. We loved all the feedback. Very helpful, guys. Do you want to jump into One Piece?
Yes, I want to jump into One Piece. That's another reason why this podcast is so useful, because if we don't get to do weekly reviews, we can at least talk about this chapter. And a lot of crazy shit's been going on in One Piece lately.
Wano Kingdom arc has been great for me for the buildup of the arc. You know, like for some reason I didn't really like the end game of the Big Mom arc because I could predict what was going to happen. You know, they're going to get away. They're going to struggle the whole time, but then they're going to get away. Once it became clear that their goal was to get away and not defeat Big Mom, I was like not as excited about the arc as it hit its end game, if you will. But this arc, I have zero idea how it's going to go down. So that's why I feel like it's completely exciting. Even at the end of this new chapter, we had the brand new Haki form get defined.
Yeah, they've been building that up over the last couple of chapters.
Force push.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
It's like force push. It also kind of reminds me of Naruto's Sage abilities.
Oh, like frog jutsu?
Frog keto or whatever
frog
they call
keto?
it.
Yeah.
Frog keto diet.
They just added frog to some martial arts name.
Pretty much, yeah. But it's kind of like that. You know, you hit them without hitting them.
Yeah.
That's kind of like exactly what Luffy's going for. And he's been hinting at it for a couple chapters where Luffy's like, I want to use this form of Haki where I can hit someone without hitting them. And it's obviously something that Rayleigh knows how to do, because Rayleigh's like the fucking Obi-Wan of the series and knows everything. Yeah. I swear, every single time they bring back Rayleigh into the story with a flashback, man, that guy's badass. He can do practically everything. The problem is, I don't know. Is he too old? I mean,
no, he does. He just
ass.
doesn't want to be involved. He wants the new generation to earn it themselves. He doesn't want to hand it to them. That's the whole point. And he sees, maybe his Haki is so good he can see that far into the future. Maybe he just can sense that Luffy has, the King's Haki, so he's fine. Like he's going to dominate things. Because the King Haki doesn't just mean you have that ability to make everyone pass out. It also means you have the ability to gather allies.
Pretty much.
To lead the King's Haki. So, it's exciting to see that. Man, look, we could break down this whole Wano Kingdom arc one thing at a time, but at the end of the day, we are getting introduced to a massive amount of characters
every week.
And they all have Japanese names, traditional Japanese names, which means hard pronunciation.
Sometimes kind of hard to pronounce.
Yeah, and overall, they're definitely spacing out the action well too. Like Luffy versus Kaido for like a whole chapter, that was kind of cool for a moment, and then now that Luffy's been
it's hard to believe that already happened.
Yeah, and Luffy's been strategically sort of removed from the arc by getting put in the prison.
Yeah,
and now he's getting trained. It's like he went on his own side quest, so that's great. And then everyone, the group being kind of split up into like 2 or 3 groups.
They're all just all over the place, kind of doing their own thing.
Oh yeah. And Big Mom's part of the Straw Hat Pirates now.
So a lot of shit is going on right now.
Yeah, I would have never guessed it.
But the latest chapter had 2 pretty big elements to it. Of course, we were talking about Luffy in the brand new Haki form, which they're now going to believe they're going to call it Goken. And that's actually because
Isn't that a thing from Street Fighter?
That's the name. Goken is actually the name of Ryu and Ken's
teacher.
Master.
Yeah,
and I think he also taught Akuma as
well. Does Goken mean something in Japanese?
I'm sure it does.
It always means something.
It always means something, of course.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is that the concept of Haki, at least within the Wano Kingdom, the implication is it's something that only foreigners use, but only a select few people in Wano actually know about. And that old little man, Yoda man,
the flower dude, the flower monk,
Yogoro of the flowers.
Yeah.
Apparently, he knows the secret of using the Goken Haki, and he's going to be teaching that to Luffy, which I think is really awesome. And it's really convenient, of course, because he's stuck in this place where all he can do is fight. Well, he might as well train at the same time.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's interesting because I think that old man, that was a big bait and switch. He's supposed to be this weak, beat up old man that could barely defend himself.
Pretty much. That's how they introduced him, and now he's this big shot who used to be like one of the big what is the term? Yakuza. He was like a Yakuza boss back in the day.
Yeah.
And apparently he pretty badass dude. And I love how in this chapter too, they're still showing that Luffy is getting really good at being able to use the Haki that allows him to see into the future.
Oh, he's like, well, they don't even like hint at it. They just show you that he can guess. He's like guessing 30, 40, 2 minutes into the future. Like he's able to tell him what's going to happen and have a conversation, and then it happened. Like
he's instructing Hio to actually battle against all of these gifters, which continue to, I think, be one of the best things about the Wano Kingdom is the crazy designs. They're fighting against Alpaca Man, who's basically half man, half llama. And then, of course, we have Madillo, who's a new character who's introduced in this chapter, who's a big armadillo man. Yeah,
and to pull the curtain back a little bit, if you look at it as a writing tool, it's actually great because it's a great power booster. It's like, hey, you just eat these fake devil fruits, you get this awesome character design, and then at the same time, there's still somewhat of a challenge for where our current level Straw Hats are at, because they're very powerful animal abilities they also get, like the guy can spit because he's an alpaca man. That one's dumb. Okay, that one's dumb. One's not great.
They play with the fact that they have their animal traits. Like even the armadillo guy, of course he's an armadillo. He can roll up into a ball, but he can also like have this little armadillo act as kind of like his very own personal helmet.
Yes.
You can actually see that. I had to look at that a couple of times. It's like a literal armadillo that like just sort of wraps around his head. And as Luffy's battling against him in Hio, you can see that he's sort of pulling his punches because he's trying to learn how to use the Goken during this moment.
Yeah, and project it.
But at the end of the chapter, Hio actually ends up using it by knocking the fuck out of these guys with the power of Goken, which is a really awesome way to end the chapter.
The power of Goken.
The power of Goken!
Oh,
it was really fucking awesome. I've loved everything they've been doing with this whole little sumo thing with Luffy fighting against people.
Luffy loves sumo. Luffy loves all forms of combat, actually.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and it like I said, Wano Kingdom to me, I don't know where it's going. And that's what I love about it. Because I'm telling you, halfway through Big Mom, I just saw where it was going. And I was like, okay, I'm going to have to endure this for about 6 months. And they might kill someone important, might not see it coming. But at the end of the day, the Straw Hats have to get away.
Yeah.
Because they have to meet up with the other half of them. Like Zoro and... Who was on Wano Kingdom before they got there?
It was pretty much Zoro, Frankie, Usopp, Nico Robin.
Haven't seen those people in forever.
No.
Well, you know what? They're giving Zoro a lot of time, and I think it was earned because that dude was gone for like, what, 2 years?
God, longer than that.
Yeah, he was gone.
It sucked having to wait so long to actually see Zoro again.
And the other thing is Zoro's a swordsman, and they're on a samurai island, so it's like, okay.
Like, if there was ever an arc for Zoro to shine, this is the arc right here. Like, it's just perfect.
And I think they're still getting his character completely right. Like, in this chapter, he was like, oh, what are we going to do about this? What are we going to do about that? And then he's like, you know what? Too many captains sink ships, so fuck it. I'll just sit here and we'll figure it out, you know?
And going along with Zoro right now, he's now interacting with a pretty important character.
A whore!
A whore. The greatest whore in all of Wano Kingdom, none other than Hiyori herself, who is actually Hiyori. That's your joke?
That's all.
That's low hanging fruit, man.
Her name has whore in it.
What?
Hiyori.
No, never mind. We're going back to Hiyori for a second.
It's wordplay. It's clever.
All right, so big revelation, of course, is that Komurasaki, the greatest whore in all of Wano Kingdom.
Hey, you said it that time.
Hey, you know, we're not. Let's not
PC culture, Corey.
Oh my God. Point is, she is actually Momonosuke's sister. This is something that, I think was fairly obvious. It was something that I predicted a couple of months ago. It was revealed in the previous chapter. We get to see her talking a little bit more about this in this chapter, how she's existed for 20 years trying to keep the whole Odin line going, and then eventually she's surprised to know.
I know, she's whoring around. Got to keep that line going, guys. Got to keep it going. Anyway, keep going, Corey. Sorry, you were saying.
Point is, her family traveled across time 20 years in the future, and now we get the official confirmation that this is her character now, and she's been trying to make a big change in the Wano Kingdom, but she needs a little bit of muscle. And thankfully, Luffy and all of the destined people have come. Basically, there's this whole ridiculous prophecy that these warriors were going to come and save the Wano Kingdom. Of course, those warriors end up being the Straw Hat Pirates and everyone that's allied with them.
Well, people that are on the verge of dying out usually have some prophecies. Anyone that shows up could have filled that. But whatever. You know, these series have to have their type of prophecies. But was it shocking to you that Hiyori actually ended up being the sister of Momonosuke, or did you see it coming? Could care less, actually. Didn't really care.
I can tell. You don't give a shit about Hiyori.
Don't care.
Unless it involves Luffy punching someone, you just don't care.
There we go. You got it. Wow. You got it. Zoro slashing, Luffy punching, Sanji kicking. I like Sanji's new armor. Maybe we should talk about that.
This is the brand new Power Ranger armor?
Yeah.
I have to say, I do like it.
I'm glad that he's accepted his roots, and that's now like part of his character design. Because let's be honest, like him kicking shit was cool, but now that he has all these cool ninja powers, it sort of like gives him like a whole different dynamic. Like the character, if he really sticks to it, it's not just an arc, costume, because you know how everyone gets a new costume in every arc, which I don't think it is. Yeah. I think it's a real true Vinsmoke like power up he actually got. It's cool, but I kind of want some Usopp time. I want some Frankie stuff. You know, like I want the other characters to also be involved. But I think you were telling me that the writer said that this battle is going to be bigger than the Whitebeard.
Yeah, Oda has actually gone on record to say like this entire like war that they're building up to in Wano Kingdom is going to be way bigger than the Whitebeard War, which is already in itself just kind of insane to actually fathom, as the Whitebeard War was insane. There were so many different factions, tons of new characters who were introduced, but honestly, I can see it happening because every single week I love reading One Piece, but damn, it's almost overwhelming with how many new characters they're always adding.
And even the bad guys are throwing characters at us left and right.
Just so many. Of course, I don't see Alpaca Man being like, super important in the grand scheme of things.
No.
But like they always manage to introduce characters, and man, I gotta say, the creator of the series, I don't know how you'd think he'd run out of ideas at this point, but no, he just keeps on bringing them on.
Dolphin Man's coming next week.
I'm ready for Dolphin Man.
Yeah. Did we have Gorilla Guy already?
Skipper, we've had Gorilla Mink Tribe members.
Oh, Gorilla Mink Tribe, yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure we're gonna see so many more variants of the gifters.
Is that Elephant Guy? Did he get defeated? The Elephant Dude? Wasn't there an elephant guy?
I think there was an elephant. There's a ton of elephant guys actually at this point.
Damn it!
There's of course Jack, who's a mammoth, but then there's another member of the Gifters who literally has like a giant elephant inside of his chest.
Yeah.
And it can like shoot like the giant blasts from its trunk and everything.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Luffy beat him. I think.
Yeah, I think he did.
Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure he did. Luffy's been fighting against so many assholes in this sumo.
To be honest, I thought that they were gonna like retire Luffy and put him away by putting him in the prison, but now they've like completely changed that, made him have a bunch of contained fights that don't really affect the story necessarily. And now that we've seen the point of that, which is eventually training, now that we're getting to that, I'm excited about this part of the story. Luffy, even when he goes to jail, is still the main character. Like they still
pretty much, it hasn't really dampened him at all. Like he's so thrilled just to be able to throw down and fight against people and just to train and try to use his brand new form of Haki. All of that is just fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm excited to see where One Piece goes. Is there anything else you want to discuss, or you want to move on?
I think we can go ahead and move on. Basically, those are just our quick thoughts on One Piece. I'm really excited for more. It's still kind of overwhelming to read with how much they keep adding to the franchise, but like you, I'm very excited to see what's next.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
But let's move on to something that's a little simpler and just as entertaining. That's Dragon Ball Super.
Super!
That's right. Give us that Frankie love. So, Dragon Ball Super is still continuing in manga form. The anime version wrapped up with the Tournament of Power, and then we also had the Broly movie.
And they're never making any more.
And they're never making...
Bullshit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're going to be making a lot more of this. I wouldn't be surprised if Dragon Ball Super doesn't return this year. Maybe even with this brand new arc. But
at least a trailer.
At least
announcing.
A trailer of some kind. We need some format of an announcement.
But they are taking so long with the manga that I'm kind of concerned that they're going to make us wait a long time before they do it, or they're just going to say, fuck it, it's now simultaneous. We're just going to do it simultaneously.
I mean, they did it before.
Yeah, and that's the thing that makes me believe that's probably what's going to happen.
There were arcs in Dragon Ball Super that, not the most popular and very short, that didn't even appear in the manga at all.
Yeah.
So, I can see them going off and doing their own thing, but currently right now, the manga is continuing.
Yeah.
They've even gone past the Broly arc, which they just sort of, mentioned passing in the manga version. They're like, Vegeta and Goku fought against Broly. It was badass. Go buy your ticket today.
Yeah.
And all that bullshit. But right now, there is a brand new arc with a new villain who's been pretty popular amongst the Dragon Ball fan base, and he goes by the name of Moro. He's an ancient wizard who has the ability to basically harness the power of a planet and use that to fight back against his opponents. He also has the distinctive ability to absorb ki energy from people, which basically means Goku and Vegeta are fucked. They can't use their Super Saiyan abilities. They can't use anything that involves ki because he's simply just going to suck it away from them and become even more powerful.
And not even his God ki. There's no ki that he can't absorb.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's interesting. I also think his character design is completely different than anything I've seen before. I borderline think it doesn't belong in that series. You said it's old school Dragon Ball, so it's kind of cool looking. But
he reminds me of like a god of destruction.
He does have
because a lot of the gods of destruction are just like anthropomorphic animal people.
They are, but at the same time, I guess maybe it's his outfit. That he doesn't have like the Egyptian looking outfit or whatever it is.
I can see him wearing it though.
Yeah, I guess if you drew him with that.
His actual costume is not that dissimilar.
But his powers are so different because he's kind of like we've had characters that can absorb your power in the past, like
definitely.
Cell.
Majin Buu.
Majin Buu. Well, he didn't really absorb your powers. He just turned you into candy and ate you and took your power. But it's sort of the same thing. Yeah, it's sort of the same thing. But this guy, just being around him, he will be absorbing your energy. It doesn't even like he has to try. Like Goku, when he tries to use the energy from a planet and the beings, he has to do this whole spirit bomb thing, and it takes forever, and it's very intentional.
This guy can just instantaneously do it.
Yeah, just pulls the power away from things. So, and it is very heavy on the magic. Like, this is no longer ki. Like, it was a very straightforward sort of path to power in Dragon Ball. It was ki, it was beams, it was who can get their power the highest and shoot the biggest beam. I mean, we've seen with Whis that there's more to the universe than that, because he says, hey, I can reverse time. I can, he even says, you guys, Saiyans have a bad reputation of judging everything by how strong their battle power is versus how strong they truly are within other aspects. So we're really getting that forced upon our main characters to observe that and take that into note. So I'm sort of excited to see where this goes, but at the same time, I was sad that Beerus didn't even want to go fight them.
I'm not surprised, though.
I mean, it's
totally within his character to not give a shit unless it involves him getting fed.
Or him getting fired as the god of destruction.
Exactly. Like, he does his job, he meets his quota, and he's done. Like,
it's pretty basic.
Yeah, that's what all Beerus is about. He's not about glory and saving the universe at all. So I think that's completely within his character to not give a shit about Planet Namek. That's what's going on right now, is that Goku and Vegeta have returned to the new Planet Namek, and they're battling against Moro, who's just wiping the floor with them.
Well,
Like,
he did defeat them. He
Yeah.
did. He defeated them, and the new Dende is helping them.
Yeah,
I forgot his name.
New Dende. I forgot his name too.
New Dende.
And Moro, of course, like a lot of classic Dragon Ball villains, is trying to get the Dragon Balls to make a wish and to get back, I'm guessing, his youth and to become just as powerful as he was when he was, sent away 10,000 years ago. This is a villain that's been around for a long time, and they've never brought him up until this point.
Well, it's convenient because now our superhero guys are super strong, so they need a new super bad guy.
That's how Dragon Ball works. That's how the power scaling works in the series.
Yeah.
But it is interesting. I love that you brought up the fact of they're now battling against an enemy which uses magic, which is not actually the first time it's happened in the series. I mean,
Majin
Buu stems from the power of magic, and of course they've dealt with things that involve the occult. And I've always really loved that.
The
aspect.
mummy.
When they went to go the fortune teller Baba arc,
yeah,
they fought against a mummy and a fucking vampire and Spike the Devil Man.
If you look, Baba is practically the good version of Bobbity. They fucking have almost the same name.
Yeah, Bobbity and Baba.
Yeah, I mean, but the magic users were always the support units to the fighters.
Yeah.
But now it's like the magic person is stronger than the fighters.
Shoes on the other foot. It's pretty fucking cool.
Yep.
It kind of reminds me of how, like Superman.
Yeah.
Superman's really fucking powerful.
Raw power.
But his Achilles heel has always been magic.
Yes.
And that's just because magic can do whatever the fuck it wants. They can sprinkle that Harry Potter dust on anything, and it can pretty much trump just about anything.
Yeah.
And I love it because the Dragon Ball characters have fought against everything from monsters to aliens and even technology itself, and now they're having to
Androids,
exactly. Now they're having to deal with the power of this super-powered, effectively goat magician who can harness the power of a planet. I love the way he fights. I love how he can summon the magma and power from a planet and sort of weaponize it in a way.
Yeah.
I think visually that looks awesome, and I can't think of anything else from Dragon Ball where
was that magma? I thought that was just raw power.
It might just be raw power.
Yeah, I thought it was just raw energy from.
Yeah, it's hard to tell when it's in black and white, but you're right. It probably is just the actual physical
what Goku absorbs when he does Spirit Bomb. You know, it's like
which
that
leads
raw,
me to believe,
that raw
is
energy.
It key? Is it a magic type of energy? What's
is it
really...
a life force beam?
Yeah, that's
what
I
is
think
it?
It really is because, like I said, he's kind of like a living embodiment of the Tree of Might.
Yes.
He takes the life force of things from the planet, from people, and everything, and uses that to actually fight back. And I love how he can sort of command it almost like a giant magic spell and everything. Mm-hmm. But he can also go fisticuffs as well, which is also really cool about his character.
He can, but he is physically able to be hit. You can beat him up if you get to him, because Vegeta was beating him up.
Which I'm surprised. I know this guy's strong and he's really powerful, but I mean, if you're gonna take a fucking punch from Vegeta or Goku
in God form,
are you really gonna be able to survive
that? He did. He took a one to the chin from Vegeta.
Crazy.
That's what I'm saying. His resistance is super high, but I want to see. Okay, but what about? I know you said it's in form for Beerus, but what about Beerus getting involved or Whis getting involved in the sense of also Whis is not telling Beerus the whole story.
No. And again, it's not Whis' responsibility to be doing this stuff.
Well, Whis is
even told, he's like, Beerus, are you going to do something about this? Nah, I'm just going to sit here and be lazy. And Whis is like, well, okay.
But he didn't say, by the way, Goku and Vegeta are fighting a goat demon. He could have said that. But maybe it's just a good plot device to keep the story going so the super powerful units don't get involved right away.
And there's also a ton of other plot points about this arc we're not even bringing up. There is the introduction of the new villain, of course. There's also an introduction of a new galactic patrolman who goes by the name of Maris.
Yeah, they're sort of getting deeper into that.
But the Galactic Patrol character design, so he's going to be important.
The Galactic Patrol, though, is what were they doing during Frieza? What were they doing during
They don't
Majin
fuck
Buu?
with Frieza.
They said that?
Well, I mean... I think it's kind of like a,
Are they like the
shitty
police? They're security guards. They can't actually arrest anyone.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
There's certain, yet they still managed to capture Moro 10,000 years ago.
Who captured Moro 10,000 years ago? Was it a Kai? I forgot who did it.
Well, there's a whole backstory of how he actually went to war with the Supreme Kais, and there was the one that, remember the big fat one? Who was
the Buu one.
Yeah, the Dai Kaioshin. He was the one that sort of led the group, and he went to war with Moro as well.
Yeah.
And I believe that Kaioshin actually sealed away Moro's powers.
Okay.
That's why they want to try and find Majin Buu right now, because there's going to be something either within him or he has the capability to neutralize Moro, which I also think is genius, of course, because, again, Majin Buu is a being that stems from magic.
He was created from magic, yeah.
And how cool would it be to actually see Majin Buu have a little more significance? I mean...
And maybe, I think Majin Buu got kind of snuffed out because he didn't go to the Tournament of Power.
I was so hoping for that, too. But even at the same time, I bet they were even thinking, Majin Buu might be a little OP in some senses.
Well, he can absorb
he's still
people.
one of, I think, top 10 most powerful characters in
Also,
the series.
he's not strategic. That would have been a huge problem.
But he also has the ability to regenerate unlike any other character in the series.
And unlimited power.
It took a
he doesn't have
spirit bomb
unlimited
to take him
power.
down.
He doesn't have unlimited power. He's not like an android.
I've never seen him...
He lost to the other Buu.
He did lose to the other Buu, but he can regenerate infinitely, and it took a universal spirit bomb to take him down.
Yes.
And that's just Kid Buu. So, obviously this is a different version of Buu and everything, but I think they had to get rid of Buu just for that purpose, because no matter what anybody throws at him, boom, he's back to normal and nothing's going to hurt him.
Yeah.
So that would have made him, I think, a little too OP in some senses, but this could be an opportunity for Buu to do something, and I've heard some really cool theories about how they could potentially use Buu. Hear this.
He's going to turn him chocolate and eat him.
I mean, he could do that.
Okay, that's boring. I was
to.
like, you better have a cooler theory than that.
Huge power up for Buu if he did that. But what I think would be really cool, and I've heard this theory and I think it's kind of interesting, Buu has the ability to absorb people.
Yes.
What if he actually absorbs Goku and Vegeta to use their power to amplify himself to battle against Moro?
And then just break free later?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if Majin Buu has the ability to expel people from his body that he's actually absorbed. We have seen during that one episode where Goku and Vegeta literally travel within his body that those people are within Majin Buu cocoons.
They are, but only for a little while, because the Kais eventually, the ones he originally, they were absorbed completely.
They fully get absorbed. So if they do that, as long as they do it in enough time, they could potentially use those powers. When Majin Buu absorbs people, he sort of takes on some of their traits, sometimes
physically
wearing their clothes
and intellectually.
Can you see a weird fusion between Buu and Goku or Buu and Vegeta?
What about if Goku and Vegeta fused, and then Gotenks and Trunks fuse, and then those two beings fuse, and then
would that work?
I don't know. I mean,
we've seen whole planets of Nameks coming. By the way, what about that one part in the chapter where they're building up the fact that there were the protectors on the new planet of Namek who have the ability to fuse with one another, and they're their last hope, and that guy just shows up, and Moro just fucking
murders
shoves
him
his
immediately.
fist right through his chest. What? I'm not even looking at you, dog. Fuck you.
Yeah.
That was fucking cool.
I didn't even need to look at your face to defeat you. Yeah.
I know. That was a really cool moment.
But Moro is very powerful.
Yeah, and he's a cool villain. At first, I didn't like his concept, but the more I read the chapters and the more I see of what he's capable of, he's already turning into one of my favorite villains from the franchise.
The only thing I don't like about Dragon Ball Super is it only comes out once a month.
Yeah, it sucks having to wait for it.
Yeah, because I sort of forget about what happened last time, and then, But I'll tell you what, Corey. If there was one manga you need to be reading right now, what do you need? Punch Man.
Jesus.
One Punch Man. Leave comments. Tell Corey to start reading One Punch Man. Tell him.
Maybe.
You tell him. You get on his ass internet.
Oh my God.
You do it.
We'll consider it. But one thing we kind of skipped over the concept of this character for a little bit. Maris, the member of the Galactic Patrolman. Do you think he actually is a bad guy?
I could see why you say that, because he has some weird sort of malice-y tendencies in his personality.
Something's not right about that guy. I don't know what it is. Or is he just a really good guy? He has a distinctive character design. They don't make characters like that and don't use them.
I'll be honest. I don't understand the point of the Galactic Patrol. I 100% don't get it. They look like the security guards, the mall cops of the universe, because they didn't help anyone with any of their problems.
Paul Blarts of the Dragon Ball universe.
Yeah, the Paul Blarts of the Dragon Ball universe. They just tell everyone what should be happening, but yet they do nothing to actually help make it happen.
That's so true.
And I'm like, these guys are useless. I don't get them. I think that was a real shit thing that they tried to shove their logo on Goku and Vegeta. And
I don't mind that. I think it's
to me, it's like the phases of the show. Yeah. Everyone gets new outfits. It's like the One Piece. Every arc they get a brand new
outfit. Yeah, and of course they don't change the outfits that much in Dragon Ball. Hell, the character who looks the most different in every arc is usually Bulma. But it is interesting to at least see them have
she accessorizes.
Yeah, we get a different insignia at least on their their gi and everything.
I just don't like their logo. I think it looks like shit. It's like a lightning bolt with a dot. I'm like, it's fucking dumb.
You can see Akira Toriyama. Done. That's it.
Of course, that has some deep Japanese meaning, and we just fucking pissed someone off.
But the fact of the matter is, the Galactic Patrol stuff, all that stuff, it was really just inserted to try and tie in
Yeah, it's a plot device.
Yeah,
I got it. Yeah.
You know, Akira Toriyama, I think, desperately wanted to make Jacko the Galactic Patrolman a thing. I don't think.
He is shoving it in.
I don't think he's become a thing yet. I mean, he's a fun side character. Again, he's one of those characters that I'm very indifferent to, kind of like Mr. Satan. Like, he's just sort of there in the background to be goofy.
You know, who knows? Look at this. Here's the opposite bizarre universe. The Galactic Patrol comes in. They're a bunch of super powerful dudes, and I complain at the same time. I'm like, oh, where are all these guys? Why didn't they help? But now they showed them, but they're actually not super powerful. That's why they haven't been able to do much. So, and at least we're getting an expansion in the lore, and I should be happy. But fuck, I like to complain. Sorry.
All right, well, speaking of complaining, I want to just end on one more small topic today, and we don't have to go into this very long. I'm glad that you brought up One Punch Man, because the second season just began.
Yes.
And I already did a full review of that, which you guys should definitely check out. But I wanted to
You reviewed the whole season?
The whole season.
The whole first episode.
Went forward in time and got the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
But, of course, there was a lot of controversy behind the second season of One Punch Man. Brand new animation studio, brand new director and everything. But as someone who reads the manga, what did you think of the very first episode of the second season?
I think it sets up all the things I wanted to set up. I'm excited about King, even though he's a joke character.
He's a bitch.
He's a bitch. Well, he has the power of luck or something. You know, he has some
weird
ability to survive shit situations.
Yeah.
You know, and
is there a reason why monsters are always attracted to him?
No, I don't even know if they've even gone into that.
It's just bad luck?
It's just bad luck.
Okay.
But yet good luck to survive.
Yeah.
And get all the credit.
Yeah.
Like, he essentially is some guy cowering in the corner after
He's the Mr. Satan of One Punch Man.
That's a great comparison.
Yeah.
It really is. And I like Genos's arc is still very prominent in the show. He's honestly, like, you can make a case he's probably like the number 2 character of the show.
He might as well be the main character.
In a lot of ways. He is the traditional story arc of an anime like this, while Saitama gets to break all the rules. Yeah. You know? And I enjoyed the first episode a lot, but I do have reservations about the animation not being as good. But honestly, if the humor and the writing is still as good, maybe I'll like look past that. I don't know. You know. Also, the first season was like world-class animation, like top level shit.
It's almost unfair how good the first season was.
Yeah.
The animation just had so much sakuga. Do you know what that term actually means?
No.
Sakuga is basically the concept of how a character moves in terms of the fluidity and everything.
Fluidity.
And I think the biggest difference you can tell between this episode and the original season is that when there was an action scene in the original season, the characters were animated. Whereas in the new season, the background and the movement moves more than the actual character. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Like, there's a shot that's become pretty infamous of Genos, who's just sort of in the air while like laser beams are flying around him, and the only thing that's really moving is the camera.
Oh, you're talking about the movement lines being all around. It's
basically,
like the guys are, and all the lines are coming around him. You know,
like there was one shot though in that episode that I thought was animated, which was basically just Genos flipping around in the air. Yeah. I was like, oh, they animated that really well. Too bad it only lasted about 1.5 seconds.
Yeah.
And that was really good. But that being said, even with the limited animation and the fact that, yes, it is different, doesn't look as good, I was still pretty satisfied by what I got.
No, I agree.
I mean, it still looked fairly clean. I'm not a big fan of, random CGI elements, though. I still think that does not meld well with a hand-drawn style.
Look, this was an intro, though, episode in some ways. So it wasn't like, let's have an awesome, heavy battle episode. But what they were saying is, hey, there is battle. There is something happening here. You know, it's interesting. Yeah. But at the same time, I think they were like, this is not like a lot of cool stuff's going to happen in this arc. I kind of don't want to explain it all. So, because if you don't want to know, you don't want to know.
I don't want to be spoiled by this.
Yeah. Well, I've already told you everything that's going to happen in this arc. But anyway,
wonderful.
So you guys don't get spoiled. But Corey, I'm trying to make him read the manga.
But basically, I think your feelings are the same as a lot of people. I think a lot of people got a little, they jumped the gun a little bit on this being like the worst thing ever. And
the internet jumped to conclusions and started bitching before they knew what was going on? No way, Corey.
Yeah, I know. But it actually ended up being fairly decent. Yeah. And I still think that it's going to be a good way to digest One Punch Man, but ultimately at the end of the day, read the manga, right?
Read the manga. It is awesome. It is a well-drawn manga. And I'm not talking about the shitty drawn one that the original maker made. I'm talking about the really good one. I don't know the names of them.
Yeah, he has a different artist who actually does like the art for the actual manga version.
He does the story. Good. Like every chapter is like, whoa, what is happening? Like it is amazing.
I mean, there's no denying that I haven't really dived into it.
I showed you a few panels.
You showed me a few panels, and I've looked. I've been on Google Images and I've seen stuff. And
better than Naruto's manga art wise.
I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, it is better than One Piece in most chapters. I'm not saying it has the legacy of One Piece.
They're just different though, too.
It's also like you understand exactly what that's gonna look like in the anime if they put the quality into it. It's gonna look.
The difference between a hamburger and a steak. Yeah, a hamburger's good, but a steak is also a lot better.
Unless you really want a hamburger.
I guess if you're into that cheese and that bacon. Oh
dude,
man, I want to fucking.
I know. So dude, you gotta if you guys ever go on Instagram, there are whole channels just committed to burgers. Okay, just look at what these pictures are and describe them to the viewer.
Oh my god, it sucks that I'm on a diet, by the way. Right
Corey's
now,
been doing great too.
And
We've been seeing results.
Seeing this shit does not help.
It's all healthy.
God damn, that looks good. It's just like a pile of meat.
It's just these giant triple stacked burgers with cheese exploding out of the sides and bacon.
I'm not gonna lie. Some of these look good. Some of these look gross.
But
there's this one. I swear, is that fucking melted peanut butter?
Why not?
Just on the side of this fucking burger?
No, I think that's cheese.
That's cheese?
Or I think it might be Thousand Island dressing, like a Big Mac sauce, like Big Mac sauce.
Put fucking gravy on a burger in this one. Look at this. Look at this fucking shit.
Hold it
That's
up.
like a 10 patty fucking hamburger. That's fucking epic right there.
I know. Well, if you take the
God, being on a diet fucking sucks.
Well, if you take the buns off, it's keto.
Fish and fruit all day.
If you take the buns off, it's keto. And
I guess. Oh my god, this shit just all looks unbelievably
I know.
delicious.
There's cheeseburgers with tater tots in them.
This one's it's a burger with a chicken sandwich in between it, covered in buffalo sauce.
And you can tell how big they are because some of them put a can of Coke next to it and it's dwarfed.
They do. Everything's perfect on this shit. Look. Oh my god. Oh my god. This right here.
What is that? It's fried chicken with cheeseburgers.
Fried chicken with cheeseburgers, with wings, with 3 different types of sauce and fries. No human
can
needs
eat all
that much fucking food.
What do they call that thing where you eat in front of people?
ASMR?
No, but there's another name, like Baku or...
I know what you're talking about. Mukbang? Mukbang? I don't know how to fucking pronounce it.
You want to make some mukbang videos or we talk about anime?
No, I don't want to. I think that shit's disgusting. Oh, you...
So you guys have a good weekend?
Shit's fucking disgusting. You know what? We're gonna go ahead and end it right there.
On mukbanging?
We're not gonna mukbang it at all, or however the fuck you pronounce it, guys. Thank you for tuning in for the podcast. I had a lot of fun doing this one today. Cannot wait to continue. Again,
we're really gonna try to do this once a week from now on.
We are. Again, if you guys have any topic ideas, questions, anything you want us to answer on the show, please do so. Make sure to check out the YouTube channel so you can leave all your comments, subscribe for all the reviews and stuff, and make sure to stay tuned. We got big changes coming soon, and we are really excited for them. Christian, you want to leave us with anything else?
Give us your topics that you want us to discuss. We will look at all of them. We read all the comments. So if you leave a good one, especially if you talk some shit and you make us laugh, we might even bring that up. Some good internet shit talk is funny too. Mm-hmm. So anything goes, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, the Powerful Nerdcast is out.
Mukbang!